Namamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanora Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitattvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakhattvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadasi 12th chapter of Vidyaranya Swami, where he is talking about the difference between Brahmananda and the Vishayananda. So he classified earlier there are three maximum levels of, or think of, the Ananda that one gets. One is the supreme happiness, that is Brahmananda. The second one is Vijnananda, the one can get by the objective knowledge. When one gains some knowledge, he is happy. That state of happiness is the second level, that is at the intellectual level. And the third level is at the basic level of the senses, where people get, and most of us will get, in terms of happiness that one gains by the indulgence in the objectives, that is any objective related or object related happiness that we get by fulfilling our desires. So that's called Vishayananda. The other one is Vijnananda, and the highest one is the Brahmananda. This is somewhat different scale, different to Anandavalli scale, where there are different types of the gradation of Anandas, or gradation of Anandas are given in the Anandavalli, where it's a Vishayananda that is being graded in terms of Manushyananda, Gandharvananda, Devananda, and so on, all the way up to Ananda that Brahmaji gets. Brahmaji gets the Ananda of 10 into 10 to the power of 26 times that of one Manushyananda. But even that Ananda is limited compared to Brahmananda. Brahman means infinite, and Ananda comes because of the infinite or limitlessness of because any limitations causes the suffering. So even Brahmaji is limited, and his lifespan is also limited. Compared to human life, it may be bigger and so on and so forth. But his Ananda is also limited. But the one who is Sotriyasya, Akamayatasya, the one who is Sotriya and Akamaya doesn't have a desire, he is experiencing the Brahmananda. That through the mind only, because he already classified in the previous chapter that one gets Ananda in the deep sleep state, when goes to deep sleep state. There is no Vishayananda, but the mind itself is folded, where there is no subject-object duality, and therefore there is no suffering. So everybody is happy in the deep sleep state, whether it is a king or a papa. Nidra Vakkati, there is as it says, that happiness that one gains when there is absence of the subject-object duality. So any suffering comes because of the duality. That the Lord has provided the experience of deep sleep state to say that whenever there is a subject-object duality, the mind has to be there, because mind itself divides into a subject knower and the object known. Both arises in the mind. And that's called, what Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi calls it, Aham Vritti and Idam Vritti. But both Vrittis are perturbations in the mind. But one can get the same Ananda, which is Brahmananda, while the mind is still awake. How? By looking at the Vritti Jnanam, but paying attention to that, because of which this happiness is coming, or this consciousness is being enlivened. And that shift in the attention from the subject-object duality to that because of which the subject-object duality one is conscious of, that Ananda is superior, and that is the Brahmananda, because your own happiness coming in. And that Satchidananda Swarupam is being reflected, and that's what is essentially from the bhakti point, Yomam pasyati sarvatra sarvanchamai pasyati tasyaham na pranasyami sadame na pranasyati, or says sarva bhutastam atmanam sarva bhutani samatmani. So those both slokas come one after the other. saying that same happiness is a shifting the attention to that consciousness because of which I am conscious of this subject-object duality. So I am not paying attention anymore to the vritti jnanam, because the jnanam is only giving you the phala vritti, but this is, I am beyond the phalam because I am not a result of something. So here the question being raised as we is talking about, what kind of love or the happiness that one gets in the Atmananda. So here the student asks the question, is it a happiness? You say self-love. Self-love is the love for oneself, is not objective happiness. It's not like loving wife or loving husband or loving object, desire fulfilled, or loving in the meditation or whatever that so-called loves. But what is this one? How is it different from all other? That was the question posed. So therefore, here the teacher is answering that question. He says it's none of them. Why? We are looking at this, Sloka 22. It says, Taryastu satviki vrittihi, Taryastu satviki vrittihi, Sukamatranu vartini, Sukamatranu vartini, Prapto nashtepi sadbhavatu, Prapto nashtepi sadbhavatu, Ichchato vyatirichyate, Ichchato vyatirichyate. So Tarhi, in that case, says Sukamatram anuvartini. So what kind of happiness is it kind of Sukham, that the happiness that one gets because of the desire fulfilled happiness, that is objective happiness, object related happiness, or desire fulfilled happiness, and Satchaki vrittihi, or it's not of that, it is Satchaki vritti, it is of the nature of Sattva Guna Pradhana. The other ones that we are talking about is Rajoguna Pradhanam, because I want this, I want this, I want this, we are running around. So if I don't get it, my mind is getting agitated, and I want constantly, I want this, so much intense longing for that. So that is called Rajasic Ananda. There is a Tamasic Ananda where doesn't want to do anything, I'm happy as I am, like sitting in a couch potato or doing nothing, and a lazy type of person who gets ananda for not doing anything. But that is the tamasic ananda. But here is classified as sattvic ananda. So sattva-guna pradhanam is the pradhanam where sattva-guna is where knowledge takes place. That is sattva-gunam. And where longing to know the truth comes into picture, and that type of ananda, even Vijnananda is there in the Sattvic Guna, but Sattvic is there, objective scientist looking for objective knowledge. But in the objective knowledge, we analyze that where the more you know, the more ignorant you become. Because the more you know, the more things you need to know, and you discover there are a lot more things that I did not know before, that now I came to know. That's why you are becoming a super specialist of narrower field, because the more you investigate, the more it opens. That is objective knowledge. Whereas this knowledge is not that type, Sattvika, in terms of subject related to the Atma or Brahman knowledge, is where one knows, then one knows everything. Kasmin no bhago vijñāte sarvavidam vijñātam bhavati. The Mundaka Upanishad says, a student asks, sir, please teach me that knowledge, knowing which I know everything. So in any objective knowledge, we cannot know anything at all completely, because the more we investigate, more the subject is getting opened up. Whereas here, the student dared to ask a question, teach me that knowledge. Eka vijñānaina sarva vijñānam bhavati. That knowledge I want to know. And that is what the here Sankhya is what is specified here. The Sattviki Vrittihi, it is the thought towards the Sattva Guna Pradhanam, not Rajoguna Pradhanam. So even the objective knowledge, there is a Rajogunam involved. I want to know this, I want to know this. But here the wanting mind itself is sublating, and what it amounts to is the pure reflection of the Ananda also takes place. We already analyzed that in the Satchidananda of the Sat aspect, Chit aspect and Ananda aspect, in the inner things or the unconscious entities, only Sat gets reflected. In this, where the subtle material is there, that is mind and intellect is there, not only the existence but consciousness is also getting reflected, so that it behaves like a conscious entity, just as moon becoming a luminous entity by reflecting the sunlight. Moon and the mind are related. Moon is called the presiding deity of the mind itself. In the same way, the mind becomes a conscious entity by reflecting the consciousness, and that how the consciousness enlivens the mind, and the mind becomes an active. But the mind thinks, I am independent conscious entity. That's where the ajnana is. That mind needs education, and that mind has to go into sattvic state in order to reach that. How do we get sattvic state? By karma yoga and bhakti yoga. All that will provide the mind a quality of the mind from a tamasic to rajasic to ultimately sattvic, because in the karma yoga we are offering everything to the Lord. In the process, I am seeing only the Lord, and in and through the Lord in everything also as an offering. So, yat karoshi, yat ashnasi, yat juhoshi, dadasi, yat tapasyati kaunteya tat kurushva darpanam. So whatever you do, offer it to me. Whatever you eat, offer it to me. Because Lord is inside also. So with that attitude, my attention is shifted to the Lord, and it becomes more and more purified, and that's called as sattvic. And that is called sattviki vrittihi. Sattviki vrittihi, of the nature of sattvic thoughts. Prapto nashte api astu sadbhavat ichataha vyatirichyate. So in that case, whether the object comes or not, the happiness remains. So for a jnani, it says dukkeshu anudvignamanaha sukeshu vigataspruhaha vitaraga bhayakrodaha sitadhir muniruchyate. So when the desired object comes, it's okay, he's happy. When the desired object doesn't come also, he's happy, because he says that's the Lord prasadam that way. So he doesn't want me to enjoy this. Now I am happy as it is. So the either dukkham or sukham, he does not get perturbed, because the life goes on. The ups and downs in life will go on, whether it's a jnani or ajnani. It's the same. But jnani doesn't react, he only acts, and he sees whatever that comes as a prasada buddhi. Prasada means you accept it with a reverential attitude, because it's coming from the Lord. Therefore, you do not get affected by the type of prasadam that comes. Whether it's a good prasadam or a bitter prasadam, you take it because it's coming from the Lord. Same way, every result is coming from the Lord. Therefore, I accept it without reacting it. I only act what need to be done. That is the frame of mind of a sattvika guna. And that's what, therefore, it is not a love for oneself, is not of the type related to objective type of happiness. Why? If the object comes also, he is happy. If the object doesn't come also, he is happy. Therefore, his happiness doesn't depend upon the objective type of happiness. Therefore, he is happy as he is. Therefore, he is sita prajnaha. That's why that means prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmana tushtaha. So sarvan kaman, all desires are prajahati, they are all gone, because he has no more desire for objects. Not that he is going to hate anything. If it comes, it's okay. If it doesn't come also, it's okay. So he plays, the krida of life will go on, the game of life will go on beautifully, and enjoys everything. But in enjoyment, he sees the beauty of the Lord also. Becomes Vishayanande Brahmanandaha. So even in the Vishayananda, a jnani enjoys the Brahmananda only. That is the nature of this happiness. Therefore, it's not object related. Let's see essence of this sloka. So it's, and also he's talking about now love also. Sukasa adhanato pradehi sukasa adhanato pradehi annapanadaya priyaha annapadadaya priyaha. So these are only one line here. in this sloka 23. So together, Sukha sadhanato pradhehi annapada dayaha priyaha. So annapada agama adayaha. So this Sukha pradhan, Sukham, this happiness is coming from annam, panam, etc., etc. So whatever the food and the drink and all that happiness that one gets. So these are means happiness. That means they are related to getting that particular means. So there, you remember in the Bhagavad Gita it says there are 4 types of bhaktas: Artho, Artharthi, Jignasu, Jnaninja Bharatarshava. So Artho is the one who is desperately, when he is in desperate, he thinks of the Lord. Until then he doesn't even bother about the Lord. So at least in the critical moments he thinks of the Lord. So Artharthi, most of us, we go to temple and pray hours and hours. Why? Because we have a big list of I want this, I want this, I want this. So it is not the love for the Lord, but love for this. Therefore I love the Lord. So Lord is only a means to get what I want. So my happiness depends upon fulfilling about Lord, fulfilling my desires. I want this, or my daughter this, my husband this, and all. Either it's a object related, either it's a object or health or whatever. You go to the Lord, run to the Lord, to the temple, and request with a begging bowl. That is what essentially Artharthi is. Also Krishna calls it a bhakta also. So, and one higher than that is Jignasu, one who wants to know what is the nature of the Lord. And of course the Jnani, the one who knows that there is no happiness outside, it's all plague, but happiness comes from my own self, and the self or from the Satchidananda or Brahman, because he is in the self of everybody also. So therefore the one Sukha pradhanatu padehe annapanadayaha priyaha. I love this, I love that. Children will say, I love pizza. I love pizza means as long as pizza gives you happiness, therefore he loves it. If pizza doesn't give happiness, he won't love it. Therefore what he loves is only happiness that he gets out of pizza. So same way, anna, pana, adayaha. So food and drinks and all that, it includes everything. That any objective related happiness one gets because of fulfillment of desire, and therefore it is the Vishayanandaha. And that happiness, therefore I love priyaha. So love for the object is love for oneself, but love object is when the object comes, I am in a happy state. If the object doesn't come, I am not happy, because that's what I want. I feel miserable, and therefore that is objective happiness. Whereas the jnani, where he thinks that he knows I am full by myself, therefore prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha. Krishna says there is no excuse, there is no limitation, then everything, no desires for him. Why? Because he is reveling in himself. Because what he self that he revels is the ananda. One loves oneself only because it is a source of happiness. One loves any object because it's a source of happiness. So any object, I love this only because I am associating the source of happiness on that object. If it doesn't give happiness, then I don't love it. But whereas I love myself because, there's no because, I love myself absolutely. Why? Because that is the essential source of happiness in all happiness. Therefore, whether I know it or not, I love myself in an absolute sense, and that's beyond love of anything in the universe. That's what being. Therefore, it's not of the ananda, pana, adayaha, priyaha. It's not love for oneself, is not love for objective type. Let's go to next sloka. Atmanukulyadannadi samascheda munatmakaha. Atmanukulyadannadi samascheda anatmakaha. Anukulayitavyaha syad. Saukasmin karma kartruta naukasmina. Sorry, ekasmin. So saukasmin, sa ekasmin. So saukasmin karma kartruta So together, Atma anukulyad annadi samaschedam unatmakaha anukula itavyaha syad saukasmin karma kartruta. So Atma, the self, anukulyatvat is not conducive or unconducive. Unlike, it says, Anna Adisamaya, like Anna Adi. So food and this drink and all that, all the objective happiness, only when it is favorable I am happy, is unfavorable unhappy, it's not of that type. So he's essentially summarizing what he said before. So Atra, so the means of happiness is not for due to any objective things. He says, Atra, Amuna, this Atma, Kaha anukulyatva. So this is a question that is being raised by the student. So what kind of environment is required for the Atma, for one experience the Atma? So is it anukulam and pratikulam are there? Is it something that is conducive to Atma, then I will enjoy Atma. If it's unconducive to Atma, then I don't enjoy Atma. Is love for Atma depends upon the state of Atma? These are the questions that are being asked by a student here. And therefore he's going to answer, it has nothing to do with all that. Because Atma is of the nature of, it is Ananda Swarupam. It's not Ananda like reflected happiness that one gets. It's not of that type. Its nature itself is Ananda. Why? Because Anantatvat. Because it's infinite. Because the limitations cause unhappiness. But Atma by nature itself is infinite. Why? Because the Atma, the Akasha Sambhuta, Akashat, Vayuhu, Vayu, Agni, Abha. So all these things come from Brahma. So if you go to Taittiriya Upanishad, it starts with the Brahman. Brahmaji says the Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam Brahma. That's how it's defined the Swarupa Lakshanam of the Atma. Then immediately it switches to from the Brahman to Atma. So etasma atmana akasha sambhutaha. So why did he use Atma? Leaving the Brahman, because there is not two really different, and that's why says Atmana akasha sambhutaha, akashat vayu. So all from the subtler to gross elements coming from Atma, and the Atma is nothing but Brahman, which is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. So Anantatvat, because of its infinite nature, therefore it is limitless, therefore there is no limitations of any kind, because it is Ekameva Advitiyam, one without a second. Therefore it is of the nature of happiness, and happiness is limitless, is happiness. Anantatvat, so Anandameva Anantam. And therefore that is its nature, and therefore it's called Anukulam, Pratikulam is not there. It is always there. Whether, because Satchit Ananda is always there present, whether you are in the waking state or a dream state or a deep sleep state. Even in the deep sleep state it is there. And in the deep sleep state, if you go to Mundaka Upanishad, it tells you that it says the nakanchana kamam kamayata. So there is no desire for any objects, because the desiring mind itself is folded, and mind is calm, unperturbed, no subject-object duality, reflection of the Satchidananda occurs completely, fully, and therefore everybody is happy in the deep sleep state. And that is essentially being pointed out here. So Anukulam and Pratikulam does not apply to that. So here the student asks, what kind of environment is required for me to enjoy the happiness? So student, the question is, student is, what kind of Anukulata means the suitable environment is required for one to enjoy. Here the teacher is going to explain now that it is nothing to do with that. It is of the nature of, it is a Swarupa Lakshanam. It is of the nature of happiness itself. And its happiness only gets reflected in the mind when the mind is unperturbed. When the mind is unperturbed, when the mind's attention is not in the perturbations but on the light of consciousness that one is paying attention to, not on the vrittis, then the mind is always in that state of understanding in spite of perturbations. So that is a shifting of the mind from the jnani also. So that's what Vidyaranya is going to say in the next sloka. So self-love is different from the other loves. Atma, the love for oneself is different from love for any objects. That's how the Yajnavalkya teaches the Maitreyi, says that see, the all other happiness is related to the objective happiness, whereas the happiness to one says Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. That's a statement of Yajnavalkya. So only for one's sake I love this, but how I love myself for what sake? I love myself because I love myself, period. And he's going to explain how myself, love for myself is going to express later in terms of I want to be eternal. That comes later. At least here it says, sloka number 25. Sukhe Vaishaike Priti Matram Sukhe Vaishaike Priti Matram Atma Tvati Priyaha Atma Tvati Priyaha Sukhe Vyabhicharat Chesha Sukhe Vyabhicharat Chesha Natmani Vyabhicharini Atmani Vyabhicharini. Together. Sukhe Vaishaike Priti Matram Atma Tvadi Priyaha Sukhe Vyabhicharat Yesha Atmani Vyabhicharini. So Vyabhicharini means is running around. So here Vaishaike Sukhi. So Vaishaike means then that which Sukhi, the Ananda that is related to the Vishaya Ananda. So objective happiness. Priti Matram, it's called Matram. Priti Matram means ordinary love. So I love this. So how much you love? Are you ready to sacrifice yourself for the sake? Oh, no. If it's okay, it's okay. Otherwise, I don't. So love for oneself is superior to love for anything in the world. So there was a story of he says my wife loves, my husband loves, my son loves, and all that. So one sage wanted, do you know really, do they love you? Says, yeah, they love me very much. So let's do one thing. We'll do. You pretend as though you are in the deathbed, and we'll ask anybody ready to exchange their life for your sake, because they must be loving you so much. So if anybody loves themselves more than they love you more than themselves, then they should be ready to sacrifice their life in order to make you alive. Is that, do you agree? Say, okay, let's see, because I know everybody loves me. So the fellow lies on the deathbed, and all the wife and everybody is sitting there and says, the sage comes and says, he tested and says, I think he's almost dying, but he can live under one condition. Says, what is that? If any one of you love him so much, if you can exchange your life for his life, instead of you, he will be alive. Of course, you will be dying in that process. So he'll ask the wife, say, no, I had to leave this place because I had to make sure that this fellow is that fellow is. So she gives big reasons why she has to live and she is not ready to die. And if you ask everybody there in the list, they love and so on. All that is, they love more themselves than they love for this one. So this fellow understood now. Nobody really loves anybody. All they love is the happiness they get out of the things. So here it says all that is ordinary love. Every love is called ordinary love. Every like is ordinary. Every happiness that you get is obviously ordinary happiness. So that's why in the Ananda Valli, that Sotriyasya Akamaya Tasya is there in every statement. One who does not have desire for that, he gets equal happiness of the other guy getting it. By having the object, he is getting. Not having any objects also, he is getting, because whatever is happening, he is getting is from the self-love only. So we'll go into more into it as we come back into the next talk. So with this, we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.